He's the steady hand upon the wheel, with a heart of gold and nerves of steel, a quiet strength in every stride, walking always by my side. He doesn't need a crown to wear, just being there he shows he'll care. Oh, for the Father standing tall, the ones who catch us when we fall, with a gentle word and a guiding light, keeping shadows from the night. For the Father's brave and true, this melody we play for you. Summer heat and winter snow, he watched the seeds of kindness grow. He taught me how to stand my ground in a world that's spinning round and round. A hero in an old work shirt, who healed the soul and eased the hurt. Oh, for the Father standing tall, the ones who catch us when we fall, with a gentle word and a guiding light, keeping shadows from the night. For the Father's brave and true, this melody we play for you. More than a name, more than a man, a foundation for the master plan, a legacy that never ends, the greatest of our lifelong friends.
The dust settles down on the highway, and the neon starts fading to blue. I've looked for a home in the shadows in every town I pass through, but there's a light in the window calling, like a bell ringing steady and free. I finally found where I'm grounded, yeah, dug WCP is the place to be. Oh, WCP is the place to be, where the handshakes are honest and the coffee is free. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found. In a world full of lonesome, I'm finally me. 'Cause WCP is the place to be. They say that the road is a master that leads you to nowhere at all. But I've built me a bridge over trouble, and I finally stepped over the wall. You can keep all your gold and your silver and your ships out on the deep rolling sea. I'll take the peace and the promise of the folks down at WCP. Oh, WCP is the place to be, where the handshakes are honest and the coffee is free. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found. In a world full of lonesome, I'm finally me. 'Cause WCP is the place to be. You know, sometimes you wander so far, you forget what it's like to belong. But then you walk through those doors and you realize you're home.
Guys, if you get a chance today and you go over to Vindicator, leave him a comment. Thank him for having my back, the Green Arrow's back. He sent me a brilliant post on X last night. I don't know how many of you have seen the email. That's just a fraction of what we get in. Just a fraction. But Vindicator had my back and spotted it. And he responded in a brilliant fashion. All credit to the Vindicator. Not yet. If it's in this playlist, it'll come up, but I can look for it.
Yeah, I'm hanging my head where the spirit is free. WCP, that's the place for me.
They sold our names like spare change, signed us guys to a foreign hand. Gray suits on the front page, counting coins while they cut our land. We queued up in the cold rain, heard them promise, watch them sway. They drew lines like a war game, then walked off, turned away. But I remember flags on the high street, old scars, old stories burning under my feet. We're gonna break their chains, every quiet town, every motorway, from the white cliffs out to the clay, with the stubborn hearts they couldn't buy. We're gonna break their chains, with the old ghosts know we stay. This is our voice, our grit, our say. We're the ones who save the UK. Save the UK. Save the UK. They talk big on the talk shows, spin storms like they make believe. But I see closed down depots, empty cups, nothing up their sleeve. Man's house with the paint cracked, kettle on telly too loud. Says love, we've been here, we won't crack. A tired eye still proud. So I remember pints on a Friday, cheap loves, fool ashtrays, hope humming in the hallway. We're gonna break their chains, every quiet town, every motorway, from the white cliffs out to the clay, with the stubborn hearts they couldn't buy. We're gonna break their chains, with the old ghosts know we stay. This is our voice, our grit, our say. We're the ones who save the UK. Not for a crowd, not for a throne, for the kid who thinks they're on their own, for the shipyard rust, for the miners' lungs, for the songs they tried to leave unsung. We're gonna break their chains, every quiet town. banners hung heavy, all tattered and torn, in the valley where kings and their legends were born.
The iron was rusted, the gardens were dry, and a shroud of gray ashes had swallowed the sky.
For years we had drifted, for years we had strayed, while the stones of our fathers began to degrade.
The hearts were all cold and the children were still,
As the shadow of winter crept over the hill. Oh, the kingdom was falling, the walls crumbling down. Lost was the glory and lost was the crown. But when the clock struck the hour of deepest despair, a voice like a trumpet rang out through the air. Not a lord in his silk, nor a knight in his mail, but a humble man, Rupert, who stepped through the gale. He didn't have silver,
he didn't have gold,
just a heart that was honest,
and hands that were bold.
He stood in the square where the elders would meet, with the dust of the roadway still thick on his feet.
He spoke not of conquest or vengeance or pride,
but of the love for the soil that we'd buried inside.
He spoke of the ancestors, sturdy and deep,
who had planted the orchards we neglected to keep. Oh, the kingdom was falling, the walls crumbling down. Lost was the glory and lost was the crown. But when the clock struck the hour of deepest despair, a voice like a trumpet rang out through the air. Not a lord in his silk, nor a knight in his mail, but a humble man, a Rupert, who stepped through the gale. He picked up a hammer, he picked up a plow.
He said, if we don't save our home, tell me when, tell me how.
And one by one, neighbors looked up from the mud, with the fire of old memories stirring their blood. The blacksmith, the baker, the girl from the mill, they followed his lead up the side of the hill.
Through the sweat of the brow and the strength of the back, they mended the breach and they filled every crack. The gardens were planted, the bells started to ring,
and the birds in the rafters began once to sing. It wasn't the sword that had won back the day, but the courage to work and the spirit to stay in the land of our fathers, the place we belong, where the weak found their power and the quiet grew strong. Now the kingdom is rising, the hearts are aglow, and the rivers of silver through green meadows flow. We tell of the darkness, we tell of the night, and of Rupert who led us back into the light. Yes, we sing of the hero who answered the call, and the home that was restored for the good of us all.
just to numb the pain. The ticket in my pocket is a one-way flight, leaving every shadow in the dead of night. Brothers on the doorstep, crying in the hall. Fathers in the kitchen, staring at the wall. I'm pushing through the turnstile, I'm breaking every chain, but the reflection in the window looks exactly the same. Run away, turn away, ooh, run away, turn away, run away. I'm running away, but where am I running to? The tracks keep moving, but the sky stays blue. I'm running away, but where am I running to? Is there a place for me, or am I just passing through? The city lights are fading into streaks of gold. I'm shaking up the stories that I've always been told. They say the world is wider than the street where I was born, but the fabric of my spirit feels a little bit torn. I see the lonely faces in the rhythmic blur, searching for a feeling that we know we prefer. The small town, I've left the cold stairs, but I'm carrying the burden of 1,000 prayers. Run away, turn away, ooh, run away, turn away, run away. I'm running away, but where am I running to? The tracks keep moving, but the sky stays blue. Oh, I'm running away, but where am I running to? Is there a place for me, or am I just passing through? Is it London? Is it Paris? Is it just a dream? Or am I just a ghost inside a digital machine? Cry, boy, cry. Where are you going? But where am I running to? Is there a place for me, or am I just passing through?
Heavy silent roar. We're standing in the shadows, waiting for the fall.
I've got my reasons, you've got your pride.
Fading through the cracks of time, our name, a whisper swallowed by the noise of newer worlds. You thought us relics, dust upon the pages of history, a people half remembered, half erased, our presence dimmed in the glaring light of rising empires. The world no longer watches as it once did. It passes us by, glances briefly, then looks away, as though we are something already concluded, a story told too many times to still be believed. You thought we were broken, shattered like glass beneath a grey sky, our voices drowned in the long rain that has kissed these isles since memory began. Before crowns were forged in certainty, before unity was more than a dream, we stood at Hastings, where invasion rewrote the land in steel and blood, and a kingdom was reshaped beneath foreign will. Then came the long centuries, of kings and fragile thrones, of civil strife and shifting power, until fields like Agincourt rang with defiance against impossible odds, where mud and courage held the line against a world that thought us finished. We faced plague, the Black Death's silent scythe cutting through our people without mercy, yet still we endured. We burned in the great fire that devoured London whole, yet from ash and ruin we built again. Then shadows gathered on the horizon, the Armada loomed, vast and certain. Yet storms and steel together answered, and the tide turned against those who thought us easy prey. We rose into an age of sail and smoke, of industry, of iron, of empire, where the seas themselves bore witness to Trafalgar's thunder, and the world learned the measure of our resolve. The guns of the Somme tore the earth apart, fields swallowed in fire and grief, a generation tested in mud and blood, and still we stood. The sky itself turned against us. The blitz fell like relentless night, cities burning beneath a rain of iron. Yet in the dark, through sirens and shattered stone, we did not break. From Dunkirk's desperate shores, where survival itself was victory, to the long road through war's end, we endured what should have ended us. And still, we remained. So if you think that these people, this nation, is broken, if you believe we have faded beyond return, dimmed into irrelevance, then think again. For the lion sleeps, still, its breath slow beneath the weight of years, its presence mistaken for absence. But do not mistake silence for surrender. For when the lion awakens and the world feels the tremble of its roar, the ground will shudder beneath its step, the rivers will rise in restless fury, and the winds themselves will carry its voice across land and sea once more. The wild things of the world will know to hide, not in fear alone, but in recognition. Because this, my friend, this long quiet, this patient stillness is not an ending. It is the deep breath before thunder, the hush before the storm breaks, the slumber that is about to end.
Tumbleweeds roll past my window, and the desert wind howls at the door. I've been riding this circuit since Memphis, and my spirit is bruised to the core. There's a dust on my boots and my saddle, and the canteen is running on dry. But I'm chasing a silhouette yonder, where the emerald cuts through the sky. Oh, I'm trading the spurs for the kitchen, and the sick of the beans and the campfire and the hard, lonely ground for a bed. I can see it just over the canyon, like a jewel in the dust and the snow. I'm coming back to the Green Arrow, the only sweet home that I know. Stagecoach, don't stop here no longer, and the gold mines have all turned to rust.
But let me show you something that happened on Sunday.
Jeff Taylor woke up to the sound of his alarm groaning, which seemed fitting. He himself was groaning.
Hello there.
His hair was a chaotic swirl of grey on the sides, leaving the top suspiciously bare, like a tiny, reluctant stage. His mustache, however, stood perfectly in line, sternly disciplined, silently judging the rest of him. He yawned. The first challenge, dressing for his first YouTube video of the day. He shuffled through a wardrobe made for bigger people. Pinstripe suit, check. Oversized paperclip, check. Socks that actually matched, a small miracle. He tugged at his sleeves, straightened his collar and, in a moment of vanity or despair, examined himself from head to toe. "You're presentable," he said aloud, mostly to himself. Pausing, he added, "ish." His tiny frame in the huge chair looked almost comically heroic, like a man trying to occupy a space far larger than himself. Today was for marches, for crowds, for flags snapping in the wind, and for shouting into the void. The streets were alive. Union Jacks waved, megaphones barked, chants rose and fell like unpredictable waves. Jeff planted himself among them, elbow high to most knees, trying to wedge a voice into the roar. "Excuse me, hello, just a quick word." A boot nearly crushed him. He leapt sideways with surprising agility, adjusted his paperclip, and tried again. "My name is Jeff Taylor," he shouted, reddening as the familiar indignation took hold. "I've got no hair. Well, not on top. Please don't just walk past. Listen, just hear me." The crowd roared on, oblivious. His tiny feet stomped. His fists gestured wildly. He was invisible, a storm in a thimble. He ducked under waving flags, sidestepped trampling boots, flinched around elbows. Every attempt to speak was swallowed by the surrounding chaos. He was a proper fury, confined to a very small body. He muttered to no one in particular. There was another reason he kept at it, a quiet, driving challenge that fueled all his red-faced shouting. Tommy Robinson. Seeing the man, hearing the name, imagining being noticed even briefly by him, that was a dream, a goal. The impossible little spark that made all the nearly trampling, the chaos, the shouting worth it.
Hello there.
Hours later, he finally trudged home. No noise, no boots, no near-extinction events every half second. Just a chair, a quiet room, and a cup of cocoa he held like a fragile trophy. The steam curled upward, warm and comforting, carrying with it the faint scent of triumph that nobody else would ever smell. He flicked on a live stream he had bookmarked, the one he watched every night. Familiar voice, familiar cadence. And then, his name, clear, unprompted. He froze, rewound, played it again. There it was, undeniable. A small, slow smile curled his lips. For a brief moment, he wasn't invisible. The world had noticed his efforts, his chaos, his tiny fury, all validated. And even if Tommy Robinson had no idea, even if the recognition was fleeting, it had felt close enough. He leaned back in his chair, cocoa in hand, and felt something he rarely allowed himself. Chuffed. Properly chuffed. The little man had won today in the only way that mattered. He had been heard. "Hello there," he whispered softly to himself, not demanding, not asking, just said. He had a great night's sleep that night, dreaming of the day he had just lived. Every march, every shout, every near miss, every red-faced indignation replayed like a tiny parade in his dreams. He slept like someone who had finally been noticed, tiny, triumphant, and utterly satisfied. Good night, children. And remember, if you're not nice to people and you tell fibs to the world, one day Focus on Britain might just make a video about you. Bye for now.
Woke up, felt too real. Told me on the telly, making big deal, smiling, saying that would be nice. Then it's back to his room, to his same old life. Staring lines, like and subscribe. Gets it right this time under his task. Don't forget, yeah. Got it all planned, but it feels off track. Half a dream that he can't get back. Paper clip getting heavy. Personality, I sure lie. Hello there, my name is Jeff. And I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? And send me some cash, cause my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, streets loud. Million people in a waving crowd. Faces change, you don't recognize. Under his eyes, angry, no one cares. Too slow, drowned out by the louder voices. Cars, I am here, stolen and right. Disappears. Hello there, my name is Jeff. And I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? Or send me some cash, my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, scrolling through his phone. Looking for proof he was not alone. Swear I was there. Smooth like an elf, late screen on bright. Finds a live stream later that night. Saw me saying it with a grin, leans in. Spotting him in, thinks he hears something close to his name. Sounds the same, smiling now. Somehow he's small, but it don't feel that way. For a little moment at the end of the day, watches it once, then once again, like he is proving where he has been. Hello there, my name is Jeff. When I've got thinning hair, would you like and subscribe? And send me some cash, cause my name is Jeff Taylor and I have got a tash. Hello there, lays down quiet. Thinking back on it all that way, he's still not seen, but he don't mind, small as a mouse. Hello there, I am Jeff Taylor. Advance is finished. Thought is diminished. That is that.
I didn't get my share of the shekels last time, Richard.
No, I know. I must have kept them for myself, yes.
Yeah,
Bloody
typical
hell.
Zionist.
This is a focus on
Home that I know. I've outrun the law and the weather. I've outlasted the heat of the day. But I'm tired of being the hunter when my heart's half a lifetime away. Just a few more miles through the sagebrush. Just a few more miles to go. The green arrow, honey, I'm home.
Britain presentation.
The camera flickered on. Richard Inman's garden shed looked like a dojo for the over 50s, complete with a battered punching bag, broomsticks, and the faint smell of old coffee. Today's lesson, the 50 slap, a secret self-defense technique passed down by masked friends who like to ambush him at inconvenient moments. Richard's opponent, A masked figure who moved like Kato from the Pink Panther lunged suddenly. Swoosh! Bang! Wallop! Inman yelped, Jesus Christ, before realizing he'd said the Lord's name in vain. He froze, eyes wide and but heartfelt apology mid-swerve. Forgive me, Lord, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Meanwhile, across the channel, Paul Thorpe cradled his favorite red mug of steaming coffee, leaning perilously close to the camera. His teeth glowed like a dental apocalypse, so bright that even the sun might squint. As he spoke, fine droplets of coffee and saliva misted across the lens, clouding the viewer's vision. Right, Paul said, squinting. Let's get some super chats in, and maybe, Stone Island coat. Yes, today's donations mean a new coat. He glanced at the ticker, climbing by the second. His teeth reflected back like two suns in a toothpaste commercial. Soon, Paul and Richard teamed up for their duo live stream. Richard sat in his chair, Bible clutched like a shield, glancing around as if expecting divine intervention or another masked Kato attack. Paul, meanwhile, leaned close to the camera, teeth blinding, mist flying, reading out super chats while calculating how many more coats he could buy with the donations. Look, the UK is falling apart, Paul said, teeth gleaming dangerously. But your support, your donations allow me to continue, saving the nation. Richard nodded. Pledge to the Lord and the movement. His voice shook as if his entire body were vibrating with zeal. Later that day, Inman streamed alone. The camera showed him pacing, muttering to himself about flies buzzing endlessly around his garden, a symbol of cosmic frustration he couldn't quite explain. Lord, forgive me, I didn't mean that, he sighed, adjusted his camera, and delivered a contrite apology, heartfelt and fully monetized. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Moments later, Kato emerged from the shadows, and Inman, having survived the coffee ambush, jabbed him in the face. You nearly made me lose my grift, he growled. Back in Spain, Paul's phone rang. A friend's voice barked warnings. Richard is a disaster. He's the weak link. People are unsubscribing. Paul's hand instinctively went to his face, covering his glowing teeth as he muttered, Not again. We can't lose another coat budget. Meanwhile, Inman was live again, cackling at the camera. Dinosaur brain! Dinosaur brain! Isn't that clever? His audience cringed, laughed, and unsubscribed in equal measure. Paul's response? Desperation. Just please, shut up, he whispered into the phone, imagining himself smothering Inman's mouth to save the movement. The chaos continued. Inman hosted a breakfast show featuring hymns and prayers that looked like a child's DIY project. Paul made damage control videos from his car, teeth flashing, coats intact, desperately trying to make Dino Bane look bad. But Dino's responses were surgical, pointing out every flaw, every hypocrisy, every overblown gesture. Paul's subscriber count plunged. No more coats, no more trips to the dentist. Panic set in. Inman, oblivious, trained in his garden, pondering the endless flies, pondering cosmic meaning, pondering Kato's next ambush. He muttered. Where is that devilish creature today? In a private moment, kneeling in prayer. Lord, why not bless me with Paul's looks, Paul's teeth, Paul's personality? The punching bag swayed ominously. Inman's eyes widened. My Lord, I hear you. I see you. I know my duty. I must go to the Tommy Robinson march, spread the gospel. Unbeknownst to him, Kato crouched behind the bag, ready for another ambush, but paused, seeing the broken state of his beloved master.
Kato.
The next day, Paul streamed again, teeth blazing, super chats flying, lamenting the collapse of Britain, while Inman shouted, Dinosaur brain, across the screen. Paul groaned. Stop, please, that's not funny. Inman jumped up, enraged. You're throwing me under the bus! You know what happens when I get angry.
That sets me up for a fall.
Paul doubled down on damage control. Videos dissecting Dino Bane, trying to maintain appearances. It didn't work. Subscriber losses skyrocketed. Grifts crumbling, coats at risk, teeth still blinding.
Kato.
Meanwhile, in Inman's garden, Kato was overwhelmed by an army of flies. All the training, all the effort, useless. Inman was revealed for what he was, a grifter masquerading as a teacher, a preacher, a protector. The community erupted online, unsubscribes, outrage, confusion, and occasional defense from diehards. The world had a front row seat to the collapse of the grift. This story is to be continued. So now you've heard the tale of Richard Inman, although purely fiction. Focus on Britain hopes you've enjoyed his fun and games for exactly what he is. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share the video with your friends and family because Some people need to be shown to the world for exactly what they are.
Ghetto.
That's it for now, children. Stay safe and be good. And remember, if you're naughty and tell naughty fibs to the world, focus on Britain. Might just make a video about it.
It's on a string, chasing a dream. Box brothers, trio, Richie in moon. Under the shadow of a dodgy watch guy, lispy little wheeler scheming. Thought he deserved a slice of the pie. Joined up young, thinks he is a hero. Brain like zero, started on but low for no reason. Politics, vague. He screams at his phone camera. Dino Bane is a dinosaur brain. That is what he said. If no Nats are losers, that is his campaign. Throwing punches in the air, hanging on the coat, tells him Mr. T's. Roof the pool for following that sheet. Yeah, they are following that sheet. Counting the coins, dreaming of silver screens while he burns. Backyard, shed, mask, dummy, punchback parade. YouTube self-defense is a charade. Little schemer, tough guy, trapped in a cage. Started the chaos, started the name calling, bended the dirty word. Richie 16, palm strike poetry, virtual fists. He screams at his phone camera. Dino Bane is a dinosaur brain. That is what he said. If no Nats are losers, that is his campaign. Throwing punches in the air, hanging on the coat, tells him Mr. Teeth. Griff the pool for following that sheet. Yeah, they are following that sheet. Vince Credit's on his side in every room. 50-year-old fish one with it all. Dreams too tall, schemes too small. Richie is outclassed, yeah, he is outclassed. He screams at his phone camera. Dino Bane is a dinosaur brain. That is what he said. If no Nats are losers, that is his campaign. Throwing punches in the air, hanging on the coat, tells him Mr. Teeth. Roof the pool for following that sheet. Yeah, they are following that street. Clinging to fame, clinging to names. In the shadow, in the shade, we know his name. Richie, yeah, we know his name.
People with dinosaur brains. Imagine calling yourself Dino Brain. You know dinosaurs have brains the size of... They have these big, massive bodies and tiny, tiny, tiny little brains that are cognitively impaired. That's why they died out, because they were dinosaurs. So dinosaur brain, it's just a trigger. Someone will clip that little bit and they'll put it on a little video of my face.
Dust settles down on the highway, and the neon starts fading to blue. I've looked for a home in the shadows in every town I've pass through. But there's a light in the window a-calling, like a bell ringing steady and free. I finally found where I'm grounded. Yeah, the green arrow's calling to me. Oh, the green arrow points me back home, where the handshakes are honest, and you're never alone. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found in a world. Coffee's cold and the news is loud. Another shadow in a faceless crowd. I see the cracks beginning to show, but I keep it in, I let it go. 1,000 wrongs in a single day. I swallow the words I'm dying to say. Lock the jaw and steady the hand, walking through this endangered land. The pressure's rising behind my eyes, underneath these polite disguises. How much weight can a spirit take before the quiet turns to rage? Tolerate the intolerable, quietly breaking, invisible. The world is creaking, but I stay still, a victim of my own iron will, watching the fire, feeling the chill. Tolerate the intolerable. Tolerate, tolerate. They're building towers on broken bones, while we're all throwing silent stones. I watch the colors fade to gray as common sense just drifts away. Smile for the camera, not for the boss. Calculate the internal loss, the bitter taste of a muted tone, the heaviest song that's never sung. The pressure's rising behind my eyes, underneath these polite disguises. How much weight can a spirit take? How long until the quiet turns to rage? Tolerate the intolerable, quietly breaking, invisible. The world is screaming, but I stay still, a victim of my own iron will, watching the fire, feeling the chill. Tolerate the intolerable. Silence isn't peace, it's a cage. Silence isn't peace, it's just rage. Trapped in plastic, tucked away, save it for another day. But the dam is leaking, the dam is breaking. Intolerable, quietly breaking, invisible. The world is screaming. locked him on my own iron will. Watching the fire, feeling the chill. Tolerate the intolerable. Just keep it in. Don't make a scene. Stay clean. Tolerate.
Okay, guys.
It always started the same
really
way.
got it rolling.
3:30, cold tea, a camera already rolling. Paul, known to his ever-growing audience as the Green Arrow, leaned into the glow of his ring light, adjusting his headphones like a man preparing for battle.
It's like being at
Right,
the cinema, isn't
he'd
it?
mutter, smirking
Great
at his
stuff.
own reflection. Let's see who needs a bit of truth today. And just like that, another video began. The internet had become his battlefield, not with swords or shields, but with thumbnails, timestamps, and that unmistakable grin. Where others scrolled past nonsense, Paul paused. Where others ignored it, Paul clicked. And where most would walk away, Paul leaned in and said, "No, this one's mine." There were moments, plenty of them, where he could have just ignored it. A wild claim, a dodgy stream, another voice shouting into the void. Most would shrug and move on, but not Paul, because to him, ignoring it wasn't the point. He'd chuckle, shake his head, take a sip of something stronger than tea, and say, you shouldn't have said
On
that.
Restore Bandwagon,
And that's when
he's
it
always
began.
been a loyal
Clip
supporter
by clip,
of,
frame by frame.
of Rupert
A
Lyle.
raised eyebrow here, a cheeky wink there. He didn't just respond, he performed. The comments would flood in before he'd even finished. He's done it again. Green Arrow doesn't miss. Someone check on the other guy, and Paul, he'd just laugh. The kind of laugh that said, you've made a terrible error of judgment. Because every jab became content. Every dig became another moment. And every moment, another win. But somewhere along the line, something changed. The persona evolved. The Green Arrow was no longer just reacting. He'd become something else entirely. A sort of anti-hero. A rogue crusader. A one-man tribunal with a ring light instead of a gavel. Grifters? Oh, he had opinions on those. Those who only came for the money. The loud ones, the flashy ones. The trust me bro merchants with suspiciously expensive backdrops and even more suspicious claims. He'd say, narrowing his eyes, something smells off. But it wasn't all serious business, because outside the battlefield of bad takes, there was chaos. Beautiful, glorious chaos. All the messages, all the attention. And unfortunately for Paul, apparently all the ladies. Now, to be clear, Paul remained a married man.
No, you still
Very much so.
I'm married.
The chat would light up, messages flying, reactions piling in. And suddenly, there it was, a full-blown digital stampede. I love you, Paul. Notice me. Green Arrow, please. And Paul would just sit there trying to keep his composure, as if he wasn't being metaphorically chased across the screen by what can only be described as a slow-motion montage of chaos, cheeky comments, and very enthusiastic enthusiasm. At one point, if you squinted, it was practically a Benny Hill sketch, but he never bit, not once. I'm a married man, he'd say calmly, as if that explained everything, which to be fair, it did. And then, every now and again, he'd glance at the camera, pause, give a small knowing wink, and the entire chat would lose its collective mind. Meanwhile, far away from the noise, there was silence. Mr. Thorpe, a name that lingered in the background like a forgotten footnote. Paul had checked once. Curiosity, really. The last time he looked, 8 subscribers. 8, not shouted, not mocked, just noted. Because not everyone stays in the game, and not everyone builds something that lasts. But Paul, he kept going. Night after night, stream after stream, turning nonsense into content, turning noise into momentum, turning a camera into a stage. And whether you loved him, doubted him, or were just there for the chaos, you watched, you listened, and eventually, you understood. Because in the end, the Green Arrow wasn't just a man online. He was a phenomenon, a legend, a mildly confusing force of nature with very strong opinions and impeccable timing. And somewhere, off in the distance, you could still hear the faint echo of that laugh, the grin, the chase. The Green Arrow has wrapped up his stream, reminding everyone to vote for Restore Britain. After signing off, rumours started flying. some saying the legend went off to celebrate in wild fashion. But of course, that's just hearsay. Let's not forget, he's a married man to a lovely lady. On a more serious note, Focus on Britain would like to extend a big thank you to the Green Arrow for his support and for sending his community our way. The positive responses have meant a lot and truly help us grow.
Half-fast, three-screen, glow green coat, see wild theory, listen close, he says. He's pacing around the room where nobody stays. Anxious, angry, arrogant, while he's on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the grifters across the lands. Green Arrow of the orange streets. Green Arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads, winks at the camera and he hits the road. Rattle thoughts, numbers high, 300,000 people standing by, declaring Paul just laughed, checks his reflection in the looking glass, half road, half clown, smooth the hair on his head right down. Paul is on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the grifters across the lands. Green Arrow of the online streets. Green Arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads, winks at the camera, then he hits the road. Maybe days are long gone, maybe days are dead, maybe dead behind him now. He's trading the ocean for a screen instead. Betty Hill legs in overdrive, chasing the trouble just to feel alive, feeling alive, feeling alive. Justice, maybe a smile, he laughs it off in his usual style. Uncertain story spreads, living inside of their scrolling heads, walking line between the truth and the trend. Well, he's on a mission with the truth in his hands, calling out the grifters across the lands. Green Arrow of the online streets. Green Arrow of the online streets. He don't miss, he just reloads, winks at the camera, then he hits the road. Restless heart, restless mind, debt unpaid, left behind. Keep on talking, talking, talking into the night.
Oh, what's this one? This one looks racy. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of Boogie Street. This is Boogus, but we call it Boogie Street.
That's the way to do it, blood! He's got a silken gown and a crooked nose. He's keeping the monsters on their toes. In the Old Bailey, he's the king of the show. With a wink and a nod, he lets the killers go. Mr. Punch in a pinstripe briefcase in hand, the highest paid vulture in all of the land. Evidence vanishes, witnesses flee while he screams to the jury. That's the way to do it, see? Roll up for the justice display, where the guilty walk free at the end of the day. Punch is the master, the law is his toy, with a pocket full of blood money place in this godforsaken town.
Behind the heavy curtains of the mansion on the hill, Judy's drinking gin just to keep the world still. She hides from the flashbulb, she hides from the shame, while the headlines scream out her husband's foul name.
He doesn't come home to the marriage bed. He's out in the neon, painted in red, with the boys from the corners, the Rent and the Wire, fueling the flames of his ego's desire. Objection! Hearsay! Let the madman walk!
I'm just a shadow, I'm just a ghost.
I'll find a loophole, I'll pick the lock!
He loves the monster, he loves it the most.
The beadle is bribed and the hangman is paid. Punch is the architect of the masquerade. He beats down the truth like he beats down his wife. A slapstick performance with a real edge knife. He's the devil's own counsel, the pride of the bar, leaving a trail of grease, smoke, and tar. That's the way to do it. Goodbye, Mr. Punch. Goodbye, Mr. Punch.
This is a Focus on Britain presentation.
The crowd had been building for hours before Paul arrived. By the time he stepped into the street, the air was already thick, flags waving, voices raised, people pressed shoulder to shoulder. Union Jacks hung from railings, draped over backs, lifted high above heads. Cardboard signs bobbed through the movement, slogans scrawled in heavy marker: "Free speech now, save our country, protect the future." Paul didn't rush in. He paused at the edge first, taking it all in like a man studying a room before deciding how to enter it. Then he adjusted the collar of his white Stone Island coat and stepped forward. It wasn't quite activism. It felt closer to trading. Not clean, polished trading, but something older, rougher. Like a man used to moving things quickly, selling value that existed mostly in the moment, convincing enough if you didn't look too closely. And then there was the way he spoke. He moved through the crowd with purpose, shaking hands, nodding, offering just enough warmth to feel genuine. He didn't just agree with certain voices, he followed them closely, like a disciple.
Okay, now you take that and video me drinking it. All that, Commie? Yeah. Here's to you, Barana, and the memory of your father and my father. Cheers. Ooh. Job done.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, now you take that and video me drinking it. All that, Commie? Yeah. Here's to you, Barana, and the memory of your father and my father. Cheers. Ooh. Job done.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hello, Sarah. How are you? Anything to say to our viewers?
I forgot.
Take two. Come on, Sarah. What do you say to the Green Arrow viewers?
Look after the Green Arrow because he's very special.
Yes. And I haven't paid you to say this, have I?
No.
What do I normally drink when I come in the club? Only you serve me it.
Oh, the coffee.
And
the rum and water.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I'll send you a clipping of it. Hey, and Sarah, you're special to me.
You're very special to me too.
Thank you, love.
Exactly, he'd say. That's what this is about. They believed him. Or at least they believed what they saw. That was the trick. It felt like participation. The chants swelled again, louder now, rolling through the crowd in waves. Paul stepped up onto a low ledge, raising a hand just enough to gather attention. It worked. Voices dipped, heads turned. We're here for freedom of speech. He paused. And for the kids. The reaction hit immediately. Paul nodded, feeding the energy just enough to keep it alive. From the outside, it looked like leadership. From the inside, it felt like something else. He stepped back down, letting the crowd carry itself forward. He didn't need to stay at the center, just pass through it at the right moments. His phone buzzed again. Another donation. Then another. He checked his watch, a diamond Rolex catching the light as his wrist turned. A small smile followed. Around him, the crowd remained fully immersed. Paul watched them for a moment. Not with mockery, not even with amusement, just distance. Paul stood at check-in, luggage beside him, scanning the room without trying to make it obvious. Then he saw them. Police officers, calm, professional, moving through the terminal without urgency. It was enough. His chest tightened. One of them approached. Routine questions followed, travel plans, length of stay. Nothing unusual. Still, Paul's mind raced. Are they looking into things? He answered carefully, keeping his tone level. The officer nodded and moved on. That should have been it. But it wasn't. I can't stay here. The thought settled quickly, firmly. Minutes later, Paul was moving through security, not quite rushing, but not far from it. Overhead, a sign pointed the way. Departures, Spain. He followed. Spain was warmer, brighter, easier. Paul stepped out into the sunlight, sunglasses on, tension easing just enough for him to breathe. But he hadn't come to disappear. By evening, he was already setting up. A table, a laptop, a microphone. The camera flicked on. Right, he muttered. Let's go live. And just like that, the energy returned. Guests joined him. The conversation flowed. Then came the first donation alert. Paul noticed, then another, and another. A slow grin spread across his face. This works. The chat flooded. Support, outrage, excitement. It didn't matter. They were watching. They were paying. Paul leaned closer to the microphone, lowering his voice slightly. This is just getting started. I'm technically on the run, he said, half smiling, gesturing toward the Spanish skyline. Comments blurred together, some supportive, some questioning, some mocking. Paul's expression hardened. Donations poured in faster than before. Alerts stacked, numbers climbing. Paul blinked, then smiled. He leaned forward again, pointing toward the camera. Go on then, he said. Send more. And they did. They always did. Inside, the stream carried on. Noise, money, attention looping endlessly. You don't understand anything, he snapped. The chat surged. Something tipped. You're all stupid. The words landed hard. For a moment, it felt like everything might break. Instead, the screen lit up. Paul leaned back in his chair, watching it all unfold exactly as expected, or maybe exactly as it was always going to. This story is purely fiction. Or is it?
Slogan cardboard sign says for the kids, but he is clocking the time. Flashes, he adjusts his coat, says a few lines that he already wrote. Handshake, wink, half smile, talks like he walked every mile, scanning, counting heads, thinking of the numbers instead. What grifter, what fucking grifter, talks it loud but the truth gets thinner. What grifter, what fucking grifter, sells you fire and he sells you cinders. Ooh, the grifter. Ooh. Pacing the airport gate, acting calm that he is running late. Sees blue lights, he looks away like a kid with too much to say. Just a trip that isn't claimed, dodging ghosts, avoiding names first in line. Departure time, sun on his face while he leaves it behind. What grifter, what fucking grifter, talks it loud but the truth gets thinner. What grifter, what fucking grifter, sells you fire and he sells you cinders. Oh, the grifter, oh, Now he is live with a mic and a drink, says he is saying what you all think. Chat goes mad, he starts to shout, money, cash comes pouring out. Calls them names, they are all the same, but they keep feeding the flame. Bit of rage, bit of show, that is how the numbers grow. What grifter, what fucking grifter, talks it loud but the truth gets thinner. What grifter, what fucking grifter, sells you fire then he sells you cinders. What grifter, what fucking grifter, turns your anger into a ticker. What grifter, what fucking grifter, plays the game and he plays it quicker. Leaves you broke while he gets richer, richer. Richard, what grifter?
They do what they do, and they make the videos that they do, and they're attacking the people they do. I know what people want to hear. Making money, telling people what they want to hear is the easiest thing in the world on YouTube, and some of these people have discovered it. They're what's known as chancers. They see a chance and they take it.
It's time they met the music. It's time to dim the lights. It's time to meet the puppets on the puppet show tonight. It's time to spin the scandals. It's time to dodge the right. It's time to raise the curtain on the puppet show tonight. Now, Kia's got a promise. He's reading from a card, but staying on the topic is getting rather hard. And Lambie's in the corner. He's looking for a fleece to pull across your eyeballs and keep the quiet peace. Now, Rachel from accounts says the money isn't there, while Angie's busy spinning thin excuses in the air. The strings are pulled so tightly, the truth is left to die as they trade a simple no for a very shiny lie. But look behind the scenery, look past the velvet screen. There's a lot of greasy fingers on the levers of the machine. It's time to face the music. It's time to tell it straight. It's time to start the circus on the puppet show tonight. Now look here, Kia. I didn't mislead the house. I simply curated the reality for H in accounts. It's the sensational, non-factual, fabricational, operational. This is the Great British Puppet Show. Was that Kia or a wooden plank? Hard to tell. They both have the same personality. One, two, wait for it, wait for it. Wait for it. One, two, wait for it, go! In a backyard shed out in Oxfordshire, they've got everything a nerd could desire. From a Phantom Flex to a giant balloon, they're gonna pop it and send us to the moon. This Dan in the lab coat looking so dapper, yeah, with the camera, the high-speed snapper, 1 frame, 2 frames, a million in a row. Let's see how the world looks when it's moving real slow. The shutter's clicking, the lights are so bright. We're capturing magic in a brand new light. Don't blink your eyes or you're gonna miss the show. Everything's better in the ultra slow. Oh, the slow-mo guys, they're bending time. Watching paint splatter, it's a rhythmic crime. From a jelly wobble to a firework blast. Making the moment forever, ever last. Gavin and Dan, the kings of the frame. High-speed physics is the name of the game. Oh, they're swinging a mallet at a giant glass jug, while Dan gets a face full of rainbow-colored sludge. Is it rolling, Gav? Yeah, it's looking quite grand. Mind your head, mate, and watch your head. From the super slow slow-mo to the T-Rex roar. They're showing us things we've never seen before. A watermelon exploding in 1,000 bits. It's a YouTube masterpiece of viral hits.
Watching a bubble burst in slow motion reverse.
Now speed it back up! Time. Watch it paint splatter, it's a rhythmic crime. From a jelly wobble to a firework blast, making the moment forever, ever last. Gavin and Dan, the kings of the frame. High-speed physics is the name of the game. Don't forget to subscribe. Wait till we get the shot. Slow mo.
Like to have a bit of news now and again, see what's happening. Sending UK ships to police Straits of Hormuz, a fantasy. Yeah. Sending British warships to police the Straits of Hormuz is a fantasy because the UK armed forces are already so depleted. Yeah. Well, we know that. We got more admirals than we got ships. I drank olive oil for 1 month. It seems to have worked for that young lady. Right.
I'm looking at my phone and I'm feeling blue. The little map says I'm waiting for you. The picture shows a girl with a golden curl, the prettiest face in the whole wide world. The car pulls up and I start to grin, but I don't see the lady that's checked in a whole wide. Are you not the one? You're a 6-foot fella when they accent on. You got a bushy beard and a baseball cap. That ain't the profile on my digital map. Oh boy, oh boy, what's a guy to do when the driver in the driveway isn't you? I ordered a burger and a side of fries. Was looking for the Lisa with the sparkling eyes. Instead I get a guy named Tiny or Joe with a muffler dragging and a moving slow. He hands me the bag with a grisly stare, but Lisa's smile just isn't there. The color's right, but the faces are giving me a terrible fright. Maybe it's her cousin or her long-lost dad. Whoever it is, my heart is feeling sad. Oh, why are you not the one? You're a 6-foot fella when the app's set on. You got a bushy beard and a baseball cap. That ain't the profile on my digital map. Oh boy, what's a guy to do when the driver in the driveway isn't you? No, you're not the one. You're just a guy with my buddy. Some big skin and a knockoff shirt.
all the locals' names. Just hear a record and let the nonsense fly underneath the heat of a Costa sky. The human clickbait and neon sign, blurring out the facts and the bottom line. He lights a fuse and he starts to run. Another day of grifting in the midday sun. He's a video firework, watch him glow. A 3-minute fuse and a hell of a show. He drops the claim, yeah, he sets the spark, then disappears back into the dark. And for every word that leaves his tongue, 30 more videos have just begun to tell the world why he's got it wrong. The Benetton grifter siren song. The comment section is a digital war. He's seen it all 1,000 times before. The debunkers rise like a tidal wave, digging up the facts from a shallow grave. It's all for the views, the critics shout, but Paul's already found a different route. He's monetized the anger, he sold the lie with a wink of his eye and a sea of buys. A human clickbait and neon sign, blurring out the facts and the bottom line. He lights the fuse and he starts to run. Another day of grifting in the midday sun. He's a video firework, watch him glow. A 3-minute fuse and a hell of a show. He drops the claim, yeah, he sets the spark, then disappears back into the dark. And for every word that leaves his tongue, 30 more videos have just begun to tell the world why he's got it wrong. The Benetton grifter siren song. Analysis paralysis, the truth is out of reach. Just another plastic prophet on a pebble beach. He's wrong about the taxes, he's wrong about the beer, but he's the only reason that we're all still here. He's a video firework, watch him glow. A 3-minute fuse and a hell of a show. He drops the claim, yeah, he sets the spark, then disappears back into the dark. And for every word that leaves his tongue, 30 more videos just begun to tell the world why he's got it wrong. The Benetton grifter siren song. He's wrong again. Yeah, he's wrong again. Just hit the bell. Subscribe to the mess.
Who is he? Benetton Paul is in a terrible state. He's got another cornetto and a losing faith. His tan is peeling and his sandals are lost. He needs a sonic savior, no matter the cost. He's shaking in his flip-flops, crying in his teeth. Hey, somebody, anybody, please play a seed. He's the hero you never heard of, the silent shredder, coming down from the clouds on a golden fender. He answered the call of a man so weak, with a funky fresh rhythm and a shiny technique. Paul's at the bar, trembling and pale. The nameless wonder is gonna prevail. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a solo that'll fix Paul's brain. Paul's got the rhythm of a broken clock. He can't even handle a gentle soft rock, but the hero arrives with a neon cape, helping Paul make a daring musical escape. Hang on, Paul. Keep your socks on. I'm dialing up the groove to 11. He's the hero you've never heard of. The ghost of the groove. He's got the moves that make the statues move. All is a puddle, all is a mess. But the hero's got the funk to relieve the distress. He's anonymous. He's splendiferous. All feeling better. Barely.
Who was that masked man with the cowbell?
Hey guys, if you get a chance, go over to the Vindicator channel, check out his latest video, leave a message saying Green Arrow said, thanks for having the Green Arrows back last night. I needed a bit of support last night. Couldn't count on my mediocre moderator. And please, no more feeding him, or don't try to feed him. He can bite, but he'd be wanting clothes next. I'll have to go down and see if the Salvation Army's got anything. Some of the neighbours have complained about seeing him wandering around the garden. Yeah, should have bought a dog, really, shouldn't I? Yeah, let's have a look.
Now in session. Today is Operation Spare Room, Part 2. Objective: to completely dismantle the mind of Richard Inman. Methodology: put 3 specific undeniable lies under the microscope to expose a counterfeit reality. In Zone 1, the dock sits the accused, Richard Dickin Man Inman, alongside the grifters Tommy and the Tards. In Zone 2, the gallery sits the jury, Dinah Bain, the Daily Agenda, Paul Morris, Gobster and Vindicator. Court started late when Simon from the Daily Agenda was doing a sweep near the seats, checking for spook devices. The legal summons and charge: pathological fabrication and the financial exploitation of a British working class. Let us open the forensic evidence log. We rely strictly on the defendant's own words, using his unedited podcasts and live streams. The prosecution will use Inman's unedited broadcasts to demonstrate how his brain actively rewrites history. Whenever reality threatens to expose him as a failure, a psychological defense mechanism instantly invents a comic book scenario to protect his fragile ego. Welcome to the Walter Mitty delusion. Charge number 1, the military myth. To understand the profound depths of the delusion, we analyse the 2 contradictory exit stories. Exhibit A, the boring reality. In his interview with Liam Galvin, Inman confessed, quote, "I went at the toilets and he walked in after me and started getting a bit leery and I just knocked him out." Setting: a drunken company social event. Incident: followed a superior officer into the NAFI toilets. Action: a sucker punch to the nose over an argument. Result: the shameful career-ending move. Exhibit B, the Hollywood fantasy. When appealing to a macho true crime audience on Liam Tuff's podcast, the toilet brawl was erased and replaced with a blockbuster action movie. Inman casts himself as the uber soldat. 1, the saviour, claims he defended recruits from sexual assault by a corporal. 2, the weapon, claims he smashed a framed wedding photo over the abuser's head. 3, the ambush, fabricates a story of surviving a near-death assassination attempt in the showers. 2 contradictory stories, complete bollocks. Exhibit D, the psychoanalysis. What kind of Walter Mitty is Richard Inman? Our diagnostic checklist reveals 3 things. Crippling inferiority complex, cannot process that he was a disgraced low-level soldier who ruined his career over a drunken bathroom tantrum. Communal narcissism, actively rewrites history, casting himself as the righteous uber soldat. Stolen valour and fabricated trauma. uses invented persecution to manipulate a working class audience into giving him respect, authority and donations. Guilty. Charge number 2, the Refugees Welcome Banner. This exact same psychological defect brings us to his modern-day political grift. When caught holding a massive left-wing banner, his Walter Mitty brain panicked and generated 2 contradictory excuses. The panicked pivot. Excuse A versus excuse B. Excuse A, the emergency live stream. He claims critics do not understand parody. He stated he was standing alongside loyalists in Northern Ireland outside a migrant hotel holding the banner as a joke. Excuse B, the Paul Thorpe stream. He drops the Northern Ireland story completely. He claims he held the banner out of heartfelt solidarity for Ukrainian women coming across here who were genuine refugees. Exhibit C, the geographical impossibility. The physical distance between Inman's excuse and the forensic truth is over 400 miles. Video evidence broadcast by the Daily Agenda definitively proves the banner was held outside the Home Office in London, completely destroying the Northern Ireland parody defence. The entire defence is a counterfeit delusion. He fabricated a geographical alibi over 400 miles away across the Irish Sea to protect his right-wing grift. When that parody defence collapsed, he pivoted to using the Ukraine war as a human shield. Exposed. Charge number 3, the grifterathon. What happens when a fragile ego meets the reality of demonetisation? When Inman lost his YouTube revenue, he went through the grifter's stages of psychological grief. Instead of accepting his channel was failing, he manufactured a Hollywood-style espionage thriller to avoid accountability. He blamed the algorithm, he blamed left-wing trolls, he blamed the Muslim Brotherhood, and he invented a deep state spy thriller. He actually expects you to believe international organisations are funding a coordinated strike against a £600 per month live stream. 0 active agents watching. The intelligence agencies are not watching your channel, Richard. Nobody is. But the absolute second his YouTube monetisation is cut, he pivots to alternative extraction, stating, "I will drop the PayPal and buy me a coffee. We can still use that." And what do they say behind the scenes? The Smoking Gun transcript catches them openly mocking their working class audience by categorising their own stream as a grifterathon. Quote, "Are we having a grift? Yeah, we're going to have a grift tonight. We're going to have a grifterathon." Takeaway, they are not just extracting money, they are laughing at the people providing it. Closing arguments. The pathological fantasist. Richard Inman can't help himself, whether he's rewriting a pathetic toilet brawl into a paedophile hunter action movie, or pretending a left-wing rally was actually a loyalist joke or a Ukraine solidarity march. He writes his own history to milk the British public. The definitive verdict is in. The illusion of the selfless patriot has been shattered. You cannot build a genuine political movement on counterfeit politics and deliberate financial exploitation. The receipts are in. Hit subscribe, drop a comment, and stay tuned to the Daily Bollocks. Cool.
Received a rather nasty email. Looks as if my troubles are about to start all over again. Deja vu. Gonna have to go to the mattresses, start taking precautions again. Anyhow, let me show you the email. We'll go through the email first together. And if you like, you can say what you think in the comments. We'll be talking about comments as well. Let's have a look what's going on here. This is the email I received yesterday that was at the back of my mind during the live stream. Not just this email, other emails. Morris, Walter Mitty scam. If I were to say you disgust me, it would be an understatement. You never served in Northern Ireland from 1969 to 76 at all. I could go upstairs and get my Royal Navy discharge documents, which shows where I was at any given time during the time I served from 1964 to 76. Yeah, so I could do that. But I've spoke about it in the past and shown evidence. This is a tactic I've seen before. And all this stuff you're supposed to have seen, it's absolutely effing bullshit. You were Royal Navy. I was Royal Navy. Vindicator, thank you. I appreciated your ex last night. Yeah, I know you've been through it yourself. I'll take your advice. I will get a body cam and I will get a stab-proof vest. I mean, I went through this along with some other people in this channel. They know what it's like. They know how bad it gets. So I'm pretty open to where I am. If they want me, they can come. I don't mind either way. If they come, they come. That'll be fun. Actually, I might actually quite enjoy it, but I am that way inclined. It's great to have you in the room, Vindicator. Don't you believe him? Don't you believe him? And whatever you do, Vindicator, don't try and take him away, right? He can't go anywhere at any rate. I've got him chained up securely in the basement. I've taken the light out. Got to save on electricity somehow. And yet I've taken his clothes off him. So there you go. Anyhow, let's have a bit of, what shall we have? I really don't know. Yeah, let's have this. This was inspired, I think, by Saxon Thor.
Wembley, quit your thumping! I'm trying to bypass the laws of thermodynamics over here! Down in a hole where the light doesn't reach, there's a blue-haired fraggle with a cynical speech. He doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to cheer. He's been building a collider for a calendar year. He stole a Doozer's helmet and a Gorg's garden hose to build a teleporter that the trash heap knows. Fight the radish juice, let the chaos loose. Logic's no excuse. Hang the singing in a noose. Getting down with Fraggle Rick. Getting down with Fraggle Rick. Gobo's got a map, but Rick's got a gun that turns a happy melody into a 1+1. He says the silly creatures are a hive mind mess, and sharing all your feelings leads to cosmic distress. Wembley, grab the wrench, no, the one made of bone. I'm gonna turn this cavern into a no Morty zone.
of York beneath a bruised and heavy sky. Three shadows stood against the tide where lesser men would die. The Yorkist drums like thunder rolled a sea of iron and hate. But England's steel was tempered cold to seal the monster's fate. Dean obeyed of dragon strength, Vindicator's flame, and Green Arrow swift of hand who never missed his aim. From rising sun to setting red, they held the valley floor. The three who broke the army's back and ended every art. Sir Dean O'Bain with heavy mace struck down the jagged line. His armor bore the ancient marks of scale and wyvern spine. Beside him stood the Vindicator's shield of silver bright, who turned the dark of Ortiz creed to blinding holy light. Dean O'Bain of dragon strength, Vindicator's flame, and Green Arrow swift of hand who never missed his aim. From rising sun to setting red, they held the valley floor. The three who broke the army's back and ended every war. High atop a craggy ledge, the silent watcher leaned as Green Arrow let his feathers fly by thickest mist unscreened. No captain of the raiding horde could dodge his cedar sting. Before their blades could meet the grass, their souls were on the wind. The fields are quiet now and green, the stones are mossed and gray, but children sing of how the three reclaimed the light that day. Those centuries have marched along and kings have turned to dust. The legend of the English three remains a sacred trust. The legend lives, the English three.
Pull that flash before Gary comes in.
Okay, love.
Don't bring him up here for anything, man.
Okay, love.
Don't bring him up here.
No. Okay, guys. Yeah, morning's going well so far. We haven't had many into the bar, but not many people like to drink in the morning. Don't know what they missing. Nice and peaceful. Haven't got none of that late night riff-raff in here, have we? I wonder if that guy who sent me that email will have the courage to come in and talk to me. I'd talk to him. I wouldn't be rude to him. He was probably a veteran. You know, he may well be a veteran. Could be a number of reasons why he said what he did. Perhaps he's a religious Zionist. Who can tell? If anybody'd like to come up to the mic and just have a chat about anything they like, yeah, if you do me a favor, I could do something else while they're talking. That would be a big help. Yeah. No. It's my medicine. I like drinking it in front of Ribeye because I know it's making him really boil with rage. Same reason I like to eat bread in front of him. He thinks you mustn't eat bread. And he's teetotal now, but I remember when he used to belt it down him. Oh, shall I tell you about Ribeye? I'm gonna grass on you now, Ribeye. I'm gonna tell him about when you come to visit me. No. Yeah. A potato's bad for you, Ribeye. A potato's bad for you. Tell me now, Ribeye. I'm going to tell him, Ribeye. Yeah. He won't come back. Look, he knows that I'm ready to spill the. Potatoes are really bad. You do know I've got images of when you came to stay at my caravan down in Porthcawl for the weekend. And for Sunday lunch, we went up the carvery, eat as much as you like, wasn't it? Apart from the meat, yeah. And you come back with a plate that was so big that even I, a big eater, gasped in amazement at the size of that plate. How many potatoes were on that plate then, Ribeye? Do you want to tell us? Truth is, guys, Ribeye, back in the day, would eat one more potato than a pig. Come on, Ribeye, tell us about the potatoes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ribeye didn't hate potatoes back in those days. He loved them. He really did. I've never seen a plate. I don't know. He was going back down south the next day. So I know he had to stock up on a week's supply, but he was so big, he was out here. His little belly was like, if he'd been a girl, you'd think he was 9 months pregnant. It was incredible. It was incredible. We had a fabulous weekend, though. We really did. Friend came over from America. I keep meaning to show you the images. Friend came over from America, and it was absolutely brilliant. We showed him some parts of Wales that hadn't been occupied. He loved it. Yeah. He hadn't learned the truth then. Happy days. It was a nice break from being under attack all the time, and we were under attack almost every day. Right, where was we? We've done that. We were there.
That leads you to nowhere at all.
I love this music, Bad Wolf. I really thank you for this. You know, I play it sometimes. I go live, but don't go live, and I just sit in there and listen to the music. Thank you.
The wall. You can keep all your gold and your silver, and your ships out on the deep rolling sea. I'll take the peace and the promise, follow the green arrow home. just for me. Oh, the green arrow points me back home, where the handshake's honest, and you're never alone. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the sweetest dream.
Okay, guys, plants are trying to kill you. Now, what do they look like? Which are the most dangerous? Are these trying to kill me, Ribeye? What will these Indians do? Are they going to do that, Ribeye? No knives on them. So what sort of plants should I be keeping an eye out for? The begonias? Or will it be the daffodils? Or bluebells? They can be really dangerous. Yeah, imagine going through the forest and you spy in Wales you'd say, I spied a host of golden daffodils. Yeah, by Wordsworth, yeah. But the bluebells, yeah, they can be nasty. Oh, dear. Ribeye, where do you get it from, honestly? You've been in that dungeon too long. I shall have to let you have some fresh air. Talk to people again. Oh, I don't know where I'd be without my mediocre moderator, to be honest.
That my poor heart has found in a world full of lonesome, I'm finally me, 'cause the green arrows where I should be. You know, sometimes you wander so far, you forget what it's like to belong. But then you see that sign, and you realize you're home. Where the spirit is free, the green arrow, that's the path for me.
If you enjoy this music, don't forget to go over to the Bad Wolf channel, like and subscribe. He does great work for this channel and other patriotic channels. Without him, I'd have a real problem bringing this video to you as often as we do. Yeah, don't forget, guys, over to the Bad Wolf, like and subscribe if you haven't already.
There's a light in the window calling, like a bell ringing steady and free.
Thank you.
I finally found where I'm grounded. Yeah, the green arrow's calling to me. Oh, the green arrow points me back home, where the handshakes are honest, and you're never alone. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found in a world full of lonesome. I'm finally me, 'cause the green arrow's where I should be. They say that the road is a master that leads you to nowhere at all. But I've built me a bridge over trouble, and I finally stepped over the wall. You can keep all your gold and your silver and your ships out on the deep rolling sea. I'll take the peace and the promise, follow the green arrow home just for me. Oh, the green arrow points me back home, where the handshakes are honest and you're never alone. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found in a world full of lonesome. I'm finally me, 'cause the green arrow's where I should be. You know, sometimes you wander so far, you forget what it's like to belong. But then you see that sign, and you realize you're home.
Thinking about the UTK marching or protest or rally in May, back last year, I thought it was a good idea at first. I did. I thought it was good for the British people to see so many of our flags out there, so many people united. And then I saw, I'm not sure whose channel it was, they were talking about it and estimating the cost of British people to get there, to travel to London, to perhaps stay overnight, the cost in petrol, train fare, the energy it took out of them. And I thought, well, that might be a small price to pay for the country to see that they weren't alone, other people felt the same way. And then when I saw the cost of it, how many millions it must have cost all the British people together who went there, I thought, how better could that money have been spent on supporting their political parties if that money had been put into Restore Britain. Could have had billboards all over the country. Yeah. What did saying? I'm looking at your comments. It's a day out and a waste of money. It's forgotten about the next week. Yeah, absolutely. It's yesterday's news. It's like chip paper, isn't it? Watch out for the parsley. They're like ninjas. We're talking politics, Ribeye. Our country is under threat of invasion, and you were talking about food again. I'll feed you tomorrow. I said I would. But you keep on like this. You won't even be getting a potato. Bible folding on a river. Because it's burning a hole in the bank. He does. I don't know. But I'm just catching up the eggs. Yes, right up the eggs. The Anglo eggs. Fantastic. A lot of people react badly to the egg white. So the eggs are revolting now, are they? Oh, great. Everything's Garibaldi biscuits, yeah. Bonbon biscuits. What are the peak creams, yeah. All the Trotskyites biscuits are out in force, as they say. Hey, let's have a listen to WCP, is that? I like his channel.
The dust settles down on the highway, and the neon starts fading to blue. I've looked for a home in the shadows in every town I've passed through, but there's a light in the window calling, like a bell ringing steady and free. I finally found where I'm grounded. Yeah, WCP is the place to be. Oh, WCP is the place to be, where the handshakes are honest and the coffee is free.
Free coffee? Free coffee? I'm off to WCP. Stop that. You know, what you've got to do, this soundtrack for WCP, what is it, Working Class Patriot? I go over, well, I haven't been over for ages, really, not since we started our live shows on this channel. There's no time really to do anything and get a couple of videos out, and I'm falling behind on that one already today. I like to go to WCP and just listen to his music. It's good. Well, the music there that we're playing now for WCP was produced by Bad Wolf. So every now and again, when you get time, just go over to the Bad Wolf channel, click on one of his playlists, and either just sit and listen to the music, or just put a playlist on, and it'll work through his collection of tunes, and the readership or the views will go up, and it will help his channel grow. And we all want that, don't we? Yeah? Do that. Think about it. Yeah. And thinking about that, you could do it with, I've got playlists, yeah. If you're going out, put a playlist on, let it run, and if advertising is on, it'll bring in much needed revenue to this channel, because now we've got to start thinking about upping our game, equipment-wise. Stab-proof vest, I don't think I'll bother with the stab-proof vest. No, definitely a body cam though. Maybe one for ribeye, although then again, will he need a camera? I mean, he's not leaving that dungeon, that's for sure. So no, I don't think he needs one. Okay, let's get back to WCP.
Stars hit the ground. It's the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found. In a world full of lonesome, I'm finally me. 'Cause WCP is the place to be. They say that the road is a master, that lead you to nowhere at all. But I built me a bridge over trouble, and I finally stepped over the wall. You can keep all your gold and your silver and your ships out on the deep rolling sea. I'll take the peace and the promise of the folks down at WCP. Oh, WCP is the place to be, where the handshakes are honest and the coffee is free. From the rise of the sun till the stars hit the ground, it's the sweetest refrain that my poor heart has found. In a world full of lonesome, I'm finally me. 'Cause WCP is the place to be. You know, sometimes you wander so far, you forget what it's like to belong. But then you walk through those doors and you realize you're home. Where the spirit is free. WCP, that's the place for me.
Banners hung heavy, all tattered and torn, in the valley where kings and their legends were born.
The iron was rusted, the gardens were dry, and a shroud of gray ashes had swallowed the sky.
For years we had drifted, for years we had strayed, while the stones of our fathers began to degrade.
The hearts were all cold and the children were still,
as the shadow of winter crept over the hill. Oh, the kingdom was falling, the walls crumbling down. Lost was the glory and lost was the crown. When the clock struck the hour of deepest despair, a voice like a trumpet rang out through the air. Not a lord in his silk, nor a knight in his mail, but a humble man, Rupert, who stepped through the gate. He didn't have silver,
he didn't have gold,
just a heart that was honest
and hands that were bold.
He stood in the square where the elders would meet, with the dust of the roadway still thick on his feet.
He spoke not of conquest or vengeance or pride,
but of the love for the soil that we'd buried inside.
He spoke of the ancestors, sturdy and deep, who had planted the orchards we neglected to keep. Oh, the kingdom was falling, the walls crumbling down. Lost was the glory
and lost was the crown. But when the clock struck the hour of deepest despair, a voice like a trumpet rang out through the air. Not a lord in his silk, nor a knight in his mail, but a humble man, a Rupert, who stepped through the gale. He picked up a hammer, he picked up a plow. He said, if we don't save our home, tell me when, tell me how. And one by one, neighbors looked up from the mud, with the fire of old memories stirring their blood. The blacksmith, the baker, the girl from the mill, they followed his lead up the side of the hill. Through the sweat of the brow and the strength of the back, they mended the breach and they filled every crack. The gardens were planted, the bells started to ring, and the birds in the rafters began once to sing. It wasn't the sword that had won back the day, but the courage to work and the spirit to stay in the land of our fathers, the place we belong, where the weak found their power and the quiet grew strong. Now the kingdom is rising, the hearts are aglow, and the rivers of silver through green meadows flow. We tell of the darkness, we tell of the night, and of Rupert who led us back into the light. Yes, we sing of the hero who answered the call, and the home that was restored for the good of us all.
Thank you, 8 Mags. That's much appreciated. And you know what I like about those gifts, 8 Mags? They'll go to people who are listening to this morning show, people who like the same sort of things we like. So, total respect. Even my mediocre moderator, I shouldn't call him the mediocre moderator, should I? Our magnificent moderator, Ribeye. Thanks you. Yeah. I tell you what, I will feed him today. I'll get him a nice piece of liver. Yeah, that's got a lot of protein. I think he likes protein. Well, it'll have to be raw, of course. Like, I'm not going to actually cook it for him. Seriously, 8 Mags, much appreciated. Thank you, guys. There was something I wanted to show you. Oh, yeah. Have a look at this.
Good morning, everybody. How you all doing? So, I'm going to go do some housekeeping first, some frequently asked questions before we get into the meat of this video. So, one of the frequently asked questions is, why do I have this massive rucksack on my back when I do my morning walk sometimes? Well, it serves as two purposes. For one, I like a bit of weight on my back, so I've got lots of kit in there. Sometimes I carry a flask with some hot chocolate in it. I've got emergency kit in there. I've got sometimes even put a sleeping bag in. Why? Because I'm out in the middle of nowhere, walking, hiking and camping, and you never know what's going to happen. You know, I could slip, I could twist my ankle. I might need to keep myself warm, get inside a sleeping bag until help can come. It's all that kind of stuff. You know, it's the old saying, isn't it, from the Cubs and the Scouts: be prepared. Be prepared for everything. Plan for the best, but also hope for the best. Plan for the worst, isn't it really? But yeah, it's that sort of thing. And plus, there's a bit of weight to my back. So when I'm actually walking, it's actually keeping me fit as well, because that's what these morning walks really are. It's about fitness. It's about fitness, mental health, that sort of thing. So having a bit of weight to my back makes me feel better, makes me feel more balanced. Not just in walking, but, you know, in general, I like a bit of weight on my back when I'm walking. That's all it is. Had a few complaints about the audio on my videos. You're probably going to get a bit of wind noise on today's video because it is absolutely blowing a gale. I think we've returned to winter again. But what I will say to these people is, respectfully, if you think my audio, and this is me quoting you, my audio is shit, then there's a donate button in the bio of my channel to my PayPal, and donate some money towards getting better audio equipment. Otherwise, you know, the equipment grows with the channel. As the channel grows, the equipment gets better. That's how I'm doing things. So, you know, and I don't think the audio is that bad, really, to be honest with you. Some days, you've got to think sometimes, right? I've got the cheap. They do a really good job, to be honest with you. Some days when you think the audio is bad, it's blowing an absolute gale. The wind is literally blowing straight at me. And the fact that you can still hear me.
Vindicator is right, isn't he? We get complaints about our sound quite often. Yeah, I could probably do with a better sound mic, but it works. And there are other things the channel could be spending money on, like maybe a second monitor, but where it would go, I don't know, because it's a bit of a pain trying to manage all what we put out. But the Vindicator makes a point. Equipment grows as the channel grows, and 8 Mags has just helped the channel grow a little bit, because that will cover the cost of our improved network, internet speed when we get it. Who can tell? Yeah, thank you, 8 Mags. Thank you, Alison. That was nice. I like that name, Alison, by the way. I've got a friend, a girlfriend. Well, not girlfriend, a female friend. She's a girlfriend, but not a girlfriend. Oh, just remembered I have a funeral on Monday of a friend, young woman, my best friend's sister. Life sucks. Younger than me, much younger than me, in her 50s. Yeah. Right. I was going to show you something. Oh, yes. Over here, yeah. Look what Bad Wolf has done for us. I only mentioned that a short while ago, and he's produced this. The Green Arrow Flies, A Tale of Heroes and a Heart of Gold. Heart of Gold, Blondie. What was it? No, Heart of Glass. Here we go then, guys. Thank you, Bad Wolf.
Come all you weary travelers and hearken to my tale of a brigantine of cedarwood that weathered every gale. She didn't hunt for silver coin or chest of Spanish tea, but sailed for every soul in need across the churning sea. The rigging hums a noble tune beneath the light of a hunter's moon. Oh, the green arrow flies o'er the crest and the foam. With a heart made of gold, he will lead the way home. With a crew full of heroes, the brave and the bold, they're worth more than all of the pirate king's gold. Heave away, haul away, the green arrow's here to save the day.
Brilliant.
Now the captain was a quiet man with eyes of forest light. He'd pull a drowning sailor from the clutches of the night. He kept no iron shackles and he kept no heavy whip, just a band of honest brothers on a mercy-giving ship.
Oh, the green arrow flies o'er the crest and the foam. With a heart made of gold, he will lead the way home. With a crew full of heroes, the brave and the bold, they're worth more than all of the pirate king's gold. Heave away, haul away, the green arrow's here to save the day. When the Kraken rose in anger and the sky turned ink and black, the arrow didn't falter and he didn't turn his back. He stood upon the quarterdeck, a beacon in the spray, and led his band of heroes till the breaking of the day.
No surrender.
So if you're lost at sea, my lad, and hope is wearing thin, look out toward the horizon where the stormy clouds begin. You'll see a flash of emerald, a hull of sturdy oak, and find the finest people that the heavens ever spoke.
Oh, the green arrow flies o'er the crest and the foam. With a heart made of gold, he will lead the way home. With a crew full of heroes, the brave and the bold, they're worth more than all of the pirate king's gold. Heave away, haul away, the green arrow's here to save the day. The green arrow is coming home.
Absolutely brilliant. I love the artwork as well. The artwork is superb. Matches the mood just right. I think, what I see? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Okay, we'll have to go here.
You thought we were broken. Forgotten things beneath a dimming sky, echoes fading through the cracks of time, our name, a whisper swallowed by the noise of newer worlds. You thought us relics, dust upon the pages of history, a people half remembered, half erased, our presence dimmed in the glaring light of rising empires. The world no longer watches as it once did. It passes us by, glances briefly, then looks away, as though we are something already concluded, a story told too many times to still be believed. You thought we were broken, shattered like glass beneath a grey sky, our voices drowned in the long rain that has kissed these isles since memory began. Before crowns were forged in certainty, before unity was more than a dream, we stood at Hastings, where invasion rewrote the land in steel and blood, and a kingdom was reshaped beneath foreign will. Then came the long centuries, of kings and fragile thrones, of civil strife and shifting power, until fields like Agincourt rang with defiance against impossible odds, where mud and courage held the line against a world that thought us finished. We faced plague, the Black Death's silent scythe cutting through our people without mercy, yet still we endured. We burned in the great fire that devoured London whole, yet from ash and ruin we built again. Then shadows gathered on the horizon, the Armada loomed, vast and certain. Yet storms and steel together answered, and the tide turned against those who thought us easy prey. We rose into an age of sail and smoke, of industry, of iron, of empire, where the seas themselves bore witness to Trafalgar's thunder, and the world learned the measure of our resolve. The guns of the Somme tore the earth apart, fields swallowed in fire and grief, a generation tested in mud and blood, and still we stood. The sky itself turned against us. The blitz fell like relentless night, cities burning beneath a rain of iron. Yet in the dark, through sirens and shattered stone, we did not break. From Dunkirk's desperate shores, where survival itself was victory, to the long road through war's end, we endured what should have ended us. And still, we remained. So if you think that these people, this nation, is broken, if you believe we have faded beyond return, dimmed into irrelevance, then think again. For the lion sleeps, still, its breath slow beneath the weight of years, its presence mistaken for absence. But do not mistake silence for surrender. But when the lion awakens and the world feels the tremble of its roar, the ground will shudder beneath its step, the rivers will rise in restless fury, and the winds themselves will carry its voice across land and sea once more. The wild things of the world will know to hide, not in fear alone, but in recognition. Because this, my friend, this long quiet, this patient stillness is not an ending. It is the deep breath before thunder, the hush before the storm breaks, the slumber that is about to end.
Okay, guys, I'm going to put a link in now for Abs. I wish he'd change his name. I wish he'd change his name to something. I don't. What's it? Oh, we'll see. Abex. Bobex. Any X. Durex. Anything but the one he's got. I can never pronounce it. Here's the link, Kinsman, when you're up for it. Or if anybody else would like to come up to the mic, it would be great.
Yeah, I'm hanging my head where the spirit is free.
Just waiting for Abs to come up. He's a larger-than-life character.
For me.
Almost there. There.
And the circumstances. It can't handle my enormous size.
It's good to see you. I told you though the last time how do you pronounce that name? Why don't you call yourself Bobex or Durex or something like that?
Yeah, it's just because I based it off of a character from one of the other games I play from StarCraft, and it's known as Abatha.
Ah, right. Pronunciation. I'm with you now. How are things been with you?
They've been okay, though I must admit, seeing messages come up just as I wake up in the crack of dawn and what have you, saying you need to look at this and basically like you need to address this. It's not exactly on my bucket list, to be brutally honest. I won't mention names, but there have been a number of people who've been getting into contact with me about the daily agenda more than anything, because there was a bit of a misunderstanding over what was said to Paul Thorpe. And that was that originally I had put up a video at some point because I naively believed, who's going to admit that they said that someone's a legitimate target? But I believe that he had actually said legitimate target for criticism, which I'm sure if that was the message that was sent, I'm sure you, me, Paul Thorpe, whether he's a plonker or not, I'm sure we would have no problems with that. It's just the fact that these screenshots that I've been sent have been showcasing that he hasn't said legitimate target for criticism, but just he is a legitimate target. And I guess to round it off, I'll say, as I said, whether he's a plonker or not, I'm sure we can all agree on this much, and that is no matter who they are, I don't even care if it's Keir the Traitor Starmer, to be brutally honest, but nobody deserves to receive threats of any kind, to be honest.
No, I agree with you. I put a video out about that this morning. I don't know if you saw my video this morning about some correspondence I received about X. Did you see it?
I wouldn't have had a chance. I wouldn't have had a chance because I've only been up like an hour, 15 minutes and what have you. And I think I must have spent 45, 50 minutes talking to someone in that time because they wanted me to address it. So I did. And
I've actually disabled my email today because of the volume of correspondence that comes in. Now, some of that is good information, but some of it, you don't know whether it's true or false. So you don't know whether to act on it or ignore it. And And then, of course, there comes all the bad stuff. Do me a favor, Abatha X. Tabitha. I shall call you Tabitha. It's a nice name.
Well, it's better than being called Abby, which I swear to God, some of my other friends have called me.
I'm not I promise. There you go again. You said your other friends. Where are these friends? Are they in the room with you
friends, now? Gaming friends. I used to play another game, Lethal Company, with them, and my God, we had all manners of fun in that.
Game. Well, you don't have to sell it to me. I love gaming, you know, and I've made some great friends online. The only friend I've really got, I've got a mediocre moderator who sometimes talk to me, Ribeye, but not a lot of sense out of him. Now, there's a guy who used to eat one more potato than a pig. He came down to my place and I took him to the carvery. I had a caravan, and it was eat as much as you like, apart from the meat. He came back with a plate that was up there. You had to put climbing gear on to get to the top of the plate of his potatoes. And now he's telling everyone not to eat potatoes. If you want to upset him, eat a slice of bread. I do. Hey, Abatha, do me a favor. Please talk to our audience for a minute while I get a file. Be your normal entertaining self.
The normal entertaining self, or selves, whichever you want to accuse. I identify as them. Both of them.
I've been telling all the young ladies, you know, I might look 77, but I actually identify as a 27-year-old Hulk who's really ribbed, or is it ribbed they do call it? What are they? I don't know.
Ripped. or I don't want to say the other one because I don't want to get you guess.
Well, keep them occupied for a moment, and I'll go get you some. I'll get you something. I'll show you something. No.
Fair play.
But okay, then I'm just going to go and do something, and you carry on talking to the guys.
Yep, fair enough. So I think my latest video is up now because it is literally being uploading as we speak regarding the whole situation with Paul Thorpe and Daily Agenda. And I normally I don't really think about being balanced and what have you, but in this particular case I have tried to be a little more balanced and a little more constructive, because the way I look at it is I do accept Daily Agenda has had a number of threats, and I'm not going to sit here and say, no, he hasn't had any. And we've obviously seen Paul Thorpe's received threats. And all I can say on the matter is that I hope these two are just going to stop this petty squabbling more than anything. They need to stop the violent threats. If you want to disagree with one another, if you want to have a different opinion, fair enough. Nobody here is going to stop you from doing that. But obviously, we have to have a line in the sand somewhere. We have to have rules, or we become nothing more than animals, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm total agreement with you. I mean, I've noticed I tried to reach out to Daily Agenda to have a chat. You know, you think that with our similar backgrounds politically, we'd probably have something in common that we could talk about. But perhaps because of his experiences, he chose not to accept it. Okay, stand by up. I'll show you something now. Here we go. And there we go. Share this. Play that. Morning, guys. Right, up there. What have we got to tell you? No, received a rather nasty email. Looks as if my troubles are about to start all over again.
I've never looked so small in all my life.
I have to go to the mattresses. Start taking precautions again. Anyhow, let me show you the email. We'll go through the email first together. And if you like, you can say what you think in the comments. We'll be talking about comments as well. Let's have a look what's going on here. This is the email I received yesterday that was at the back of my mind during a live stream. Not just this email, other emails.
Oh, God.
Morris, Walter Mitty scam. If I were to say you disgust me, it would be an understatement. You never served in Northern Ireland from 1969 to 76 at all. I could go upstairs and get my Royal Navy discharge documents, which shows where I was at any given time.
Good God.
During the time I served from 1964 to 76. Yeah, so I could do that. But I've spoke about it in the past and shown evidence. This is a tactic I've seen before. And all this stuff you're supposed to have seen, it's absolutely effing bullshit. You were Royal Navy. I was Royal Navy doing anti-gun running patrols first of all, and then I volunteered to serve aboard HMS Maidstone with Royal Navy, and operations staff were based. I was working with operations. I was wearing plain clothes and all the usual things that go with it. You never did the work of an infantry soldier at all. Did I ever say I served as an infantry soldier? I've always said that I had total respect for the infantry soldiers, and I've shown you to the channel of a friend of mine who was an infantry soldier out there on his music channel, and we played his songs. I have total respect for the infantry soldiers out there. And you certainly didn't do a 7-year tour. Of course I didn't do a 7-year tour.
Like, the only devil's advocacy I would
places
inject.
in between. I didn't go there from 1969 to 76. I traveled around a bit.
Yeah, the only devil's advocacy I would say in this one is basically it depends upon whether or not you actually said you did. Sorry, my dentures are falling out again. If you did a 7-year tour or not. If you didn't say it, then what's he blethering on about?
I really don't know, Abs. I mean, I think the guy, I've checked out his email and I've sort of semi-tracked him down. I could track him right down. If I wished, I could have his email account cancelled, because that is effectively a threat. He's put a target on my back now by calling me a Nazi, yeah, which is untrue. He's accused me of being an anti-Semite, which I am not, but I am against Zionism. I've always been outspoken against Zionism. And I'm a racist, a bastard. Possibly, you can tell. Oh, I don't know. But that's the. Do you get? I get a lot of these kinds of love letters. Do you get them, Abs?
I guess I can say I'm lucky in that I haven't really received that many of them, but I feel for you more than I know. You say you can handle it and what have you, but whenever I see it, it's kind of like that's horrendous. And just seeing that kind of email alone, where they're using some of the most disgusting language, is just, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, unfortunately, my friend, you can expect the same. So, you've got to be careful. Ribeye Onya, he's been with me since 2006, and he knows about them being outside my place, threatening to burn me alive and my family at 3 o'clock in the morning. He knows some of the terrible things they've done, especially to my elderly mother when they doxed her before she died. I wasn't even living there, but they put photographs and her address up on the internet. They come after me big time. And the malicious lies like that they spread everywhere, are beyond. So all I'm saying, Abs, is, be careful, watch your security if you're going to be outspoken.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I know. Well, I don't know, Vindicator called in earlier on. I was at, listen, I'm going to have to close down because I've got to take my wife shopping. Yeah, you're not married, are you, Abs?
I'm only married to my computer.
Yeah.
Joined by the hip. Work hard, play harder.
Well, You were lucky. You were really lucky. I've often thought sometimes, would I have been better off being gay? You know, because then again, the price I pay just to have a good Sunday dinner cooked for me is enormous. I mean, I'm just a chauffeur in a dog's body. Do this? No, that's not true. My wife is amazing. My wife is amazing. But anyhow, I've got to take a shop. Come on, talk to us for a couple more minutes.
I was waiting for you to finish. I'm trying to be a gentleman here and let you finish what you're saying.
You made a good point there, Abs. We should all aspire to being gentlemen. It doesn't matter whether you're working class, middle class, upper class. I've met people from all classes. Some of them are gentlemen. They were born gentlemen. And some of them, despite their wealth, are just pure pigs. But we should all aspire to be gentlemen. I took a vow this morning with Ribeye that I'm going to try and cut out my swearing and stuff like that. I'm going to try and be the man my father was. I only ever heard him swear once in his life, and he apologized to me. And if he could have done it, you know, I can do it. Yeah.
It's something that I obviously, that's one of my biggest weaknesses is swear. I swear like a whole boat of sailors. I swear to God. Like the amount of F's and Jeffs that come out of my mouth, it would make even the Lord upstairs blush, to be honest.
I'll ask him. I talk to him quite often. Oh, tell him, shall I? You want me? He said, you're okay. He likes you. He talks to me. Have you read the books, The Little World of Don Camillo, about the Catholic priest? No,
I've done really next to no reading, to be honest. I think there's only like a select few books I've read. I think the only real one I can remember reading about was the Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which I believe was about an autistic boy. So, other than that, I haven't really read an awful
lot. Okay, fine. So, what about poetry? Do you like poetry?
I can't really say, to be honest. There's some I like and some that I obviously haven't seen, some that I just think, oh God, what the hell is this, more than anything. But at the end of the day...
Oh, so let me see. You're a gamer and you're a gamer.
And a gamer, and a gamer.
And a YouTube creator with a good sense of humor, I'm pleased to say.
Well, and I try to have a bit of wit as well.
I've noticed it. I've been watching your stuff. Really impressed me. I like your style. I like your... I'm not blowing smoke up your ass for one moment. I like your style. I like your presentation. And I do enjoy your wit. It's worth watching. I hope your channel grows and grows. Unless, of course, you go against Restore Britain, and then I shall do everything within my power to destroy you. And I'll do that to you.
Well, to be fair, the only way I could truly go against Restore Britain is if they suddenly turn on the country, to be honest. That's the only way I look at it. If they're for the country, they're for me. If they're not for the country, they can do one.
Well, yeah, with you 100% on that. But if you visit this channel, I'm afraid sometimes I'm going to inflict my poetry on you. So you get poetry from, I love Edgar Allan Poe. I like Spike Milligan poems. And then sometimes I get really, really drunk and play silly love songs and get lots of copyright strikes off YouTube. So you'll have to get used to that.
Oh dear. Well, as long as Dino Bane's not in here and he's having to torture himself listening to AI, we're off. I think we're going to be fine.
Oh, I love Dino Bane. Right, he's got a strong personality, but I've got a stronger one. So when he comes on, it's head to head. We both support the same thing, but we've both got different ideas of the way we present that information to our audiences. But he's got a fine mind on him. There's no doubt. His analytical work is superb. It really
Yeah.
is. And the way he researches stuff. I like to have a laugh as well.
Yeah,
but
there was something I wanted to mention though. That was as far as what Dino said about taking apart Paul Thorpe, and the way I look at it is it, as he said, it's not really hard to take someone down with their own words. It's basically a matter of hand them enough rope and they'll hang themselves. But but generally speaking, I've also made a few of those mistakes where I bought into things, found out it was wrong, and I think one thing that a lot of people don't have is they don't have the balls, as it were, whether up here or down there, or in my case, both, to actually admit when they're wrong and admit that they made a mistake. A lot of people will just carry on and double down and just not admit where they've gone wrong. And I will happily admit, and I've done it in my videos now posted up, that I will apologize unequivocally to Paul Thorpe for misreading what Simon said about Paul Thorpe.
Yeah, and an Australian soldier once told me that I said sorry. We were in a bar drinking. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." He said, "No, you should never say you're sorry. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it straight away. I'll take the hit and own up to it. It's better." But we all make mistakes as we go along, and hopefully we learn. Mind you, I'm 77 and I still haven't learned. You're talking about man breasts. I told you I lost 4.5. It was close on 5 stone.
5 stone, yes, that was it. Across like 3 months or 6 months.
Done it for my granddaughter. And that's the one thing I miss, because I used to have magnificent breasts that, you know, in the mornings I'd wake up and I could just lie there and, you know, it was great. Now they're gone. I gave my wife, I gave her bras back. I don't need them anymore. I'm natural.
Oh God. Well, let's just hope I at some point get to training these double Ds here, and then they'll be gone before too much longer.
I suspect, though, you seem to have a big heart. You really do seem to have a big heart, and I suspect your balls are as big as your breasts, which are enormous.
Oh God, I'm dying. Oh, he's killing me, chat. Oh God.
I've been missing his. Hang on, above you. Hang on. Let's have a look at some of the chat. Bad one said his moves. I don't know what moves mean.
It's basically an abbreviation for man boobs. That's what it is.
And I've got a terribly dark sense of humor. It's like I've had a it's like I've had a mastectomy now. Set the women off. Hang on. The League of the Killers of the Brave. I thought I was wrong once, but I was just mistaken. Yeah, I like that one. That's pretty good. Hold on. Yes, love. Yeah, that was the boss. We've got visitors. Oh God,
Ooh,
she's
okay.
such a pain. She expects me to be sociable, and I'm in there going, "Oh yeah."
We're having a nice
Why have I got my
conversation, and it's all being ruined.
Absolutely. Listen,
but if you've got things to do, then don't let me keep you.
No, I won't. I never would. If Ribeye can't control me, you've got no chance. What was I going to tell you? Oh yeah,
I'm not mobile enough
the video
either.
Neither am I. I can't get out of this chair. Really. Listen, in that video I showed you with that letter, and at the end of it, I extended an offer to the person who sent the letter to come on the channel tonight at 8 o'clock, you know, and said, let's just talk about it. I'm prepared to talk to him. And hopefully we can resolve what his problems are, because I believe you should really talk. And then if you can't talk sense to him, then that is it, you know.
You just got to
anyhow,
contact.
Say goodbye to the guys, partner, kinsman. Total respect and thank you very much for coming on the channel. Say goodbye. Plug your site first.
Thanks for putting up with both of me again. And catch you all another time.
Where should they go to subscribe to you?
Oh yeah, I've gotten a lot of people come over, both from you and Vindicator. So I obviously appreciate the support. I'm closing in on 5,000 subs fast. So I think I was on like 4.68 or was it 4.69? No, it is 4.68 at the moment. So yeah, there is that. I am going to do something cheeky though, and I'm going to try and link my most recent video in here, see if YouTube likes it or if it's going to kick me out. But I make my points pretty clear on where I stand as far as Thorpe and Tomlinson is concerned, because at the end of the day, it does need to be said. Someone does need to speak about this, because I've seen these screenshots now for myself from multiple people that basically what Simon Tomlinson's done is he hasn't said threat of criticism. He said legitimate target. That's it.
Yeah. But words are important, as you know. Listen, I'll say goodbye to you now. Remove. I'll be closing the channel down in a few minutes. What I'll do is I'll leave a link to your channel in the description, okay? And perhaps we'll see you later today.
All right, then. Maybe a bit later on. We'll see if I'm not too busy gaming. All right.
I wish I was gaming. Bye. Alex.
All right. Thanks so much. Bye.
Well, what do you think? He's an amazing chap. You really should visit his channel. You really should. He's got a sense of humor. I was disappointed. I thought, now he's gone, I can talk about him. You watch this. I was hoping to meet a kindred spirit there, you know, someone with a love of poetry and books, but it's not to be. I can't be the only guy in our channel who reads books and poetry. Some of you must love books and poetry. Yeah. Ribeye is asking if I should have asked him about Red Dead Redemption. Okay, let's see if I can find our closeout song, guys. Meanwhile, let's have a look at, we've done that. There, that. We've done that. There, that. Do this, do that. Share this. I'm going to look, see if I can find our outro. Say goodbye for now, guys.
There's a crimson stain deep in the valley where the ghosts of the cavalry ride, and the stories are etched in the canyon of the ones who had nowhere to hide. My father, he bled for this acreage, and his father, he broke the first stone. Now I'm crossing the ridge in the twilight. Well, thank y'all for coming, folks. We'll be right pleased to be seeing y'all again soon. Please don't forget to put your little pinkies on those like and subscribe buttons as you get your hats and coats on the way out. Y'all be having a safe trip home, and please can somebody make sure GA gets home okay? I think you might have had a little too much rum. Goodbye.